Jene kuli yapuzile musamukakamiza jene kuti yapatile kompakisa jene zomwe sakufuna akazafuna kukwatila asasoma muna ino simufuna samuona jene yali bwana amasa kulichenda koma ayi apanga zoyipa apanga ndalama asafa ni matenda ino simufuna samuona jene yali bwana amasa kulichenda koma ayi apanga zoyipa apanga ndalama asafa ni matenda. Girl, sponsor grand, killing your rubber, do my thing. Only problem, too many girls. One of them will be the end of his world. Give it up in exchange for the pearls. Strapped up, could've crashed on the curb. You're the king of the castle, but it's a bit of a struggle, especially if the castle's in the form of a bottle. Broken bottles, cuts are deep. Eskele gumnyama ngatas keep. Umithi sombana watas keep. Pume jwaleni, you losing your grip. It's sweet, but it could turn bitter. Moment of passion, just think, consider. And while you're at it, your dreams are bigger. A moment of passion to a lifetime of pain. In that moment, what do you gain? Mamuna bagazi ni musha kuvala. Wajavola utwala mumala. Tawi zafika kufuna kubala. And Maria, to Ruth, and Monica, to Bruce, and Jessica, to the rich and the poor. Gagitami Patanawa, Tam Kachamento Roma. So let's teach our kids about the bodies and rights. Nam Tala and the Queen, cause the woman got twice. Forget about the past life, cause the future is bright. Forget about the past life, cause the future is bright. Bright, bright, cause the future is bright. And I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna change my life. Diksha chinja upenyo wangu. Dino sima kodera yangu. Diksha itaza kasaka. Diksha chinja upenyo wangu. No kutindilo zakananga.
Young people all around the East and Southern Africa region are asking for a chance to crawl, to walk, to run, and to fly. And the UNFPA is on a mission to create a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled. Sanibonani, Dumelang, Muzuri Sana, Magadijo, Mulibwanje. Hello, Africa. From Cape to Cairo, from Dakar to Mogadishu, welcome to the Safeguard Young People Edutainment Party. Thank you for tuning in. We know you could have been anywhere else in the World Wide Web, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that very, very much. My name is Tamsanga Sibanze, aka the courtesy of hip hop, aka the Black Superman. This is a platform that has been set up for us to have conversations around sexual and reproductive health issues during COVID-19. So we invite you to join in on the discussion about gender-based violence. Make your voice heard by asking questions, making comments, and telling stories of what's going on in your part of the region or the continent in the comment section below. Or you can tweet at UNFPA_SYP and at UNFPA_Isaro. Our official hashtags are hashtag Youth and COVID-19 and hashtag Put Young People First. During the current outbreak of COVID-19, there is an increased risk of gender-based violence, otherwise known as GBV, including sexual exploitation. GBV is an act of violence committed against a person because of their gender. Women, girls, and children are at a greater risk of GBV. Under COVID-19 lockdown, the risk of GBV is likely to grow due to the restrictions of movement, lower household incomes, the added burden of family care duties on girls, school closures, and pandemic-related stress and fear of infection. People experiencing GBV may have difficulty reporting complaints of abuse due to restrictions of movement, and conditions may be worse for those in the remote communities. Women and girls are likely to face challenges seeking help, especially if they live with or close to their abusers. And right now, shelters and safe places may be full, closed, or operating remotely. I'll ask Daniel Toro to cue up our topical video for today. And from this video, please pick up what stands out for you, any questions you might have, or anything that you might need clarity on. Put it on the comment section below and we will come back together, put it on the table, chop it up. We will also have a chat with our guest who's already on standby all the way from Zimbabwe, Vimbiso Rundare, a lawyer and human rights activist who will be sharing her LOL, Life on Lockdown. But for now, here is a collaboration between Safeguard Young People and the Amaze Project, a video of intimate partner violence, a very common form of GBV, but it is pitched at a younger audience between the ages of 10 and 14. However, the information applies to all, but the delivery is so brilliant because you can pick it up and use it in educating your younger siblings, cousins, or community members on the issue in an age-appropriate way. Daniel Toro, let it play.
Wow, I'm so glad you're here. I just found out that one of my best friends was in an abusive relationship for so long, and none of us knew anything about it. I'm heartbroken. I thought we told each other everything. Maybe if I'd spoken up, she would have talked to me about it sooner. So, here goes.
Intimate partner violence, sometimes called teen dating violence or domestic violence, is a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to maintain power and control over another partner in an intimate relationship. These are forms of gender-based violence. An intimate partner is a person's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, or lover. Intimate partner violence may include different kinds of abuse. Physical abuse may include hitting, kicking, punching, or other kinds of physical violence. Emotional abuse may not include physical violence, but it can be equally as harmful. When someone is abused emotionally, they may be called names, humiliated, yelled at, or made to feel intimidated. The abuser may try to control the other person by telling them what to do, what to wear, where they can and cannot go, or display other jealous behavior. Financial abuse is when a person tries to control and limit their partner's access to money so that the partner will be dependent on them. One example would be if the person discouraged or disallowed the partner to work and make their own money. Another is the person taking the partner's money or bank or credit cards and refusing to give them back. Another form of abuse is known as stalking and harassment. Stalking or harassing someone may include spying on them or following them around and constantly showing up where they are or refusing to leave when asked. Stalking also can include sending harassing or unwanted emails, texts, or posts, also known as cyberbullying. Finally, there's partner abuse that involves sexual abuse. This type of violence is when a person forces their partner to participate in sexual acts or behaviors without their consent, or ignores the partner's sexual boundaries. Just because a person is in an intimate relationship with someone doesn't mean that he or she must have sex with them or do sexual things that they find uncomfortable or demeaning, even if they have had sexual relations with that person in the past. If you or someone you know is being abused in a relationship, it's important to know that it is never the fault of the abused person, and it's important to ask for help. To get help, you can talk to the school counselor, a social worker, or another trusted adult. A great resource if you need information, support, or advice is a domestic violence helpline. You can check out their website at www.tears.co.za. Ask around to find where you can get help for gender-based violence in your local area. Remember, domestic violence is not love. Someone who really loves you wouldn't try to physically harm you, control you, make you feel bad about yourself, or force you into doing something you don't want to do. A loving and healthy relationship is about consent, respect, and honoring who you are as an individual.
Till next time, don't forget to visit me at amaze.org.za or go to my YouTube channel to watch more. Bye!
All right, and we're back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a quick look at the comment section to see who is in the room with us here today. But in the meantime, we're still waiting for our Zoom guest to join us. And maybe if anybody is around her or near her, please make sure, remind her that she needs to join the Zoom because we are ready to have a conversation with her. But we are looking forward to these comments right here. I'm actually just trying to pick up some of the comments. We're inviting you to have this conversation with us on the comment section below so that we can just keep this party going. And while we're waiting for our Zoom guest to jump in, let's take it back to the video that we just watched. The format is an animation because it is in fact a 10 to 14 audience video. But you know what? The information does apply to everybody. The young, the old, and the in-between, whether you're male or female. Most importantly, part of what we hope to achieve with this session is to empower all of you to play an active role in preventing, reporting, and breaking the cycle of gender-based violence. One of the best ways for us to do that is to educate our younger generation. So we strongly encourage you to show this video and other videos on similar topics to your kids, your siblings, your cousins, and kids around the hood. Ultimately, gender-based violence must fall. More videos can be found on amaze.org/ZA. Daniel Toro, are we winning with our guest for today? She still hasn't joined, so we will have to keep this party going. Tanya Belcher says, hi, in the building, looking forward to the insight and learning. Who else is in the building? Just shout us a holler. Let us know what's going on in your part of the world. But more importantly, we just want to know what is your experience during the lockdown, particularly on gender-based violence, because that is something that we feel very strongly about, and we are saying zero tolerance to that. But we're actually going to be sharing ways in which we can all come together and make sure that this is dealt with accordingly. So, comments, questions, queries coming in right now. Please make sure that you join into the conversation, because it's not just about us, it is also about you watching at home, because this is not our show. It's not our show in here, it's our show here in the Eastern Southern Africa region and the rest of Africa, wherever we're reaching right now. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been brought to you courtesy of the UNFPA Safeguard Young People program, in collaboration, of course, with us here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, Daniel Toro, live streaming behind the scenes, and your boy, the courtesy of hip hop. We're still waiting for our guest. Are we winning? Still nothing in terms of the joining in. Daniel Toro, it's okay. Let's take spoken word poetry, and we will be right back while we are waiting for our guest to connect, because this conversation is very important. She is very important in this conversation. So we're going to take a quick poetry break, and we'll be right back. No matter the words she uses to describe the violation, no matter the drinks or the outfit or the degree to which she knew or didn't know her violator, no matter the time of day or night or the spaces in memory, no matter her age now or her age then, or how many years it took for her to speak, no matter how many times it's happened or what came before or after, believe her. No matter the questions that rise in your mind, planted by a culture that has taught you that it is her story that has to be met with disbelief, believe her. Hear her story. Blanket her shame with your love. Counter her fear with your faith. Hold the relentless questions running in loops in her mind between your palms tenderly. When she says it was my fault, tell her no. When she asks, was this okay, say, not now, not ever. When she wonders, did I bring this to myself, remind her that she has only ever called in goodness. When she tells you they didn't believe her before, believe her. When she cries, let her. When she reaches out in need of arms, hold her. When she needs to tell her story again and again and again, listen. As many times as it takes. When it takes longer than you expected for her to heal, be infinitely patient. When that healing looks nothing like they told you it would, find every dictionary in your house, cross out the definition, allow her to write in her own words. Be sure to use pencil so she can change. When her body feels unsafe on the street or in the coffee shop or at the grocery store, walk closely beside her. Ask if she would like for you to hold her hand. Shield her energy with your own, and don't, when she's afraid of the dark, keep the lights on. When you're not sure how to proceed, ask her. When she answers, pay close attention. When the rules change, accept them. When a woman tells you she was violated, believe her. And don't just only believe her. Say so. Don't just think it. Don't just feel it. Speak the words to her, out loud, right now, as many times as it takes, over and over and over again, in words, in writing, with your body, in the way you look at her, in public, on social media, at hospital, at the police station, in court, at the bar, on the street corner, in your outside voice, where other people can hear, in as many different languages as you can memorize. Because too many women in this world have been violated, and too many are met with the violence of disbelief. So when a woman tells you she was violated, you stop what you're doing, look her in the eyes, and tell her, I believe you. before y'all let me walk all the way back to Mbabane. All right, cool. Thanks, bro. Right, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and I already know that on the line we already have Vimbiso on standby, just still sorting out a little bit of sound issues, but I'm interested in a comment that I'm seeing right here, and it's from John, and John says, the thing is, right now everything is broken on all ends. Most of us do not consider that the experiences that the average girl goes through when she walks to the shop and back, to which we as men are oblivious. The same is true for men. Look at the Will Smith and Jada saga. Do the memes and jokes about Will encourage you to speak out if you're going through or went through a similar experience? They can't. He's being made fun of, seen as weak. As women, you can never truly know what that feels like. Growing up, a boy will deprive you of seeing the world as a girl and vice versa. That means you will have no access to about half of the aspect of the human experience, half of the knowledge or path or perspective of life, and the same applies to us where they are concerned. The little that we know about women is misunderstood because we can't understand from any other perspective except from the reference point of where we are as boys turned men. This is very interesting. The problem right now is everyone. We expect the other gender to understand us when we are not reading the same book. They expect to understand us when they can only know for sure only their experience of life. And both genders overlook the fact that they don't know enough about the other gender's view in life when they pass judgment, except that they can try to imagine. Think about it. A nice girl going into town has a different experience from a guy walking through the same route. From the time she steps out, she gets whistles here and there, some aggressive, very few nice depending on her city. She has to be constantly thinking about which whistles are safer to ignore and which she can't ignore without signaling any interest. Challenge is that she responds kindly. The guy automatically assumes she is interested when she wasn't. Now she has to be looking around her surroundings to note escape routes in case things get hectic. This is a very long text from John, and it just keeps going on and on, but I think I get the gist of it. He is saying one of the biggest reasons why gender-based violence is prevalent is because we don't understand each other's life experiences. And more than anything, what ends up happening, it becomes a battle of us versus them, as opposed to us, as opposed to men and women versus the issue of gender-based violence. Finally, we do now have a stable connection with Vimbiso in the building. Let me just double check.
Hello.
Okay, let's welcome via Zoom all the way from Zimbabwe, Vimbiso Rundare, a young versatile lawyer in training, a passionate human rights activist, particularly in the field of sexual and reproductive health rights, HIV and AIDS. An active member of the Young People's Network on Sexual Reproductive Health, HIV and AIDS, which is a body conveyed under the National AIDS Council of Zimbabwe. Vimbiso is also the Deputy National Secretary for YPN SRHHA, a presenter, motivational speaker for various platforms and organizations, and plus, she is a multi-award recipient for her work as an activist. Vimbiso, hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi guys, how are you? Thank you very much for the warm welcome.
You are definitely more than welcome, Vimbiso. I think let's just go straight to it. What's your current situation like and your experience under the COVID-19 space in Zimbabwe?
Pardon?
I'm saying, what is your experience during COVID-19 in Zimbabwe? What's going on in your part of the region?
Okay, currently in Zimbabwe, I'm in Manicaland, in Mutare Urban, And the situation right now, I can say, is difficult for young people, especially when, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, especially when they want to access services, SHRA services, it's very difficult for them because due to the lockdown, the government imposed certain conditions which are strict, and they are difficult for young people because they want letters. Let's say you want to go to the clinic, you want to go to the hospital. There are roadblocks which demand provision of letters for a person to move from area A to area B. So I can say it's very difficult right now.
Okay, and I think it's almost very similar to a situation that we have here in the Kingdom of Eswatini as well, where previously when the lockdown was in full effect, to move from one area to another, you also needed a letter from the authorities. Let's get more into a personal space, Vimbiso. Who are you on lockdown with, and how is that experience?
I was for the part of lockdown, I was locked down with my parents. It
All right.
was fun at first. At first, it was fun because we get to spend more time together as a family. And then as time went on, as a young person, you might need to go out and do some other things, and it was difficult.
Yeah,
And
of course.
right now I'm at work, and it's fun, yeah. Except that you have to work.
Yeah. All right. Vimbiso, have you had a
Yes.
personal encounter with gender-based violence?
Yes, but not personal experience as such. From the area where I live, I get to see people and have to counsel some other people. Some are friends who are being abused by their boyfriends, and then some by their husbands. So I can say I've had experience in that field of gender-based violence.
Are you in a position to maybe tell us a little bit about that experience? Because also you're a lawyer and an activist. What has that experience been like, and how did you deal with it as a lawyer and a young people's rights activist?
Okay, one of the cases is concern a lady who is being abused by her husband. She came to me recently and said, Wimby, so you know what, my husband is abusing me. She's doing this and that. She's beating me every day. And I had to encourage her to go and take a protection order, but she refused. The reason being she is afraid of being divorced by the husband. And also she was saying the
All
husband
right.
is the one who is doing everything. Hello?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear
And she
you.
was saying the husband is the one who's doing everything, and especially now that we
Yeah.
are on lockdown, she's not going to work. She has to stay at home, so she was afraid to report the husband to the police because of that. And then the other one is my friend. I'm not sure if we can classify it under gender-based violence. She was saying her boyfriend is forcing her to send nude pics. They're in a long-distance relationship. And I had to advise her to refuse to send those pics. But as young people, she will say, hey, you are jealous and what? And I had to educate her on the dangers of sending nude pics to your boyfriend. And I said, I'm not sure if she took my advice seriously, and I don't know. So that's what I'm experiencing and what I've experienced during this lockdown, in particular to gender-based violence.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Because this is the reality on the ground, especially the one about your friend who has the husband as the breadwinner and the provider, and she's in a situation whereby she cannot do much or rather she feels like she cannot do much because he's the one that is sustaining her livelihood right now. What advice can you give to young people during this pandemic right now? Because obviously it's something that is still ongoing, and we understand also that gender-based violence is such a high prevalent occurrence in our region and in other parts of the world as well. As a lawyer, as somebody who understands the law, and as somebody who is passionate about activism, what can you say to young people, and not just young women, but just young people in general who are watching this live stream right now? Yeah.
Okay, to young people, I can say gender-based violence is not only, it does not happen to women or girls only. Men can be abused too.
Yeah.
So it's my advice that the victims speak out. Do not be silenced by any threats or anything. You need to be bold enough to stand up and fight for your rights. Because most of the time we find that the perpetrators or the abusers are also people who are afraid maybe of something else or of someone. So I advise young people and or everyone in general that please speak up. Do not fear, speak up. Go to the police, or maybe if you fear to go to the police, especially during this lockdown, you can go to your pastor or maybe to the next door neighbors. They may assist you. And also another advice to the young people is that let's speak out for our friends or for anyone. If you see someone being abused, or if you see that there is gender-based violence taking place, be it to your neighbor or to your friend, speak out for that person. Let's all be the voice of everyone, not the voice of the voiceless only, but some people may be voiceless, some people may be fearful or anything. Let's speak up for our friends, let's speak up for our neighbors. And also, not forgetting that we have the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. My advice is that let it be 365 days of activism against gender-based violence, not only for 16 days, but charity begins at home. Let's do it everywhere, at home, be it at work. Let's fight against gender-based violence, as it affects the nation, it affects the whole world, it affects everyone. And again, men can be abused too. Men also are victims of gender-based violence. Thank you.
Vimbiso, you are a star. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing in your space with young people. We wish you nothing but the best. Thank you so much for those kind and words of wisdom and inspiration. I really do hope that young people were actually listening and they will take that advice and put it into action. Please enjoy the rest of your day at work. Have a safe weekend. And we just wish that someone like you can have more platforms like this one here, where you can speak and light that fire under young women and just young people all over the continent of Africa. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We will see you in the very near future, and we appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you, KRTC. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mama. Cheers. All right. That was Vimbiso all the way from Zimbabwe. And we'll just take a quick break and we'll be right back just to sort of like take more of your comments and let what she said sink in. So we'll be right back.
Adolescent girl who cannot enjoy her reproductive health and rights, who can't complete her education, who can't find decent work outside the home, cannot really chart her own economic future. And this is why SDG 10 on inequality is so central to the work of UNFPA. This is a conference where we get to talk about sex and sexuality and health and rights. So I made it a point of coming here to be with you so I can learn, so I can share.
increased attention to the health and well-being of the world's adolescent girls, including their sexual and reproductive health, is necessary condition for success. It's high time to recognize the power of young people, the value they bring onto the decision-making table as full-fledged partners. It's time we recognize that decisions about them cannot be taken without them. What we need is action, both at the ground, at the policy level, going beyond words and promises. It's only then, ladies and gentlemen, that we can ensure that the most fundamental objective of SDGs is met, that no one is left behind.
Well, the theme of adolescence and empowering young people came to fruition because Youth Lab and other partners of UNFPA brought front and center a discussion about how it is that the SDG generation is going to transform the world. So we're very grateful to our partners like the Graça Machel Trust for their ability to really inspire and corral action. The words we're leaving with are action and urgency. And I just want to thank everybody for paying attention to young people and their needs and their self-expression. So more to follow. Very exciting, very exciting.
And we're back. That was Vimbiso all the way from Zimbabwe, just giving us an insight on what's going on in her part of the world and pretty much just giving us a lowdown on some of the things that she is involved in, particularly where young people, more especially where gender-based violence is concerned. Let's go to the comment section right now and find out what's going on. Majuba says, wow, another Friday has come. Hooray. Derek Nyasula says, awesome. This is great. Thank you very much. UNFPA, excited to be back. Maria, hello. Looking good, courtesy. Now, I mean, you know, orange is the color. Cleopatra, brilliant. Elbow cough. And of course, my technical team has put the link to the Amaze videos just in case you want to go back to the video that we played or you want to touch base with even more videos. Natalie says, very informative. To know that abuse isn't just physical. And Linetti is also in the building. Sharon Stella says, I'm here for the party. 10 Bell, hi, in the building. Looking forward to this topic, hoping for a lot of insight and learning. And not to put you on the spot, courtesy, do you have any experience when it comes to gender-based violence? So thank you very much for that question, Ma. Look, I think just also from observation, it's not never a personal experience in the sense that I made a very critical stance from a long time ago that I would never lay a hand inappropriately on a woman. I protect my sisters, I protect my family, and I protect whoever has entrusted me with their heart, with their mind, and their body. So not from that perspective, but I have observed, I have found myself in a situation whereby I've had to call people to order, I've had to, I've had to assist young women, maybe take them to a place like FLUS or PSI so that they can get counseling or some sort of help. But otherwise, it's definitely all around us. We see it in so many different forms as well. We see it in the form of jokes. We see it in the form of memes on social media. And these are some of the things that we need to shut down immediately and curb. Because, like I said, too many women have been violated. But also, too many women are coming across the violation of disbelief. So this is part of sort of just like a personal pledge that I've made that, you know what, I have a voice, I have a responsibility, and that is how I will play my part. Daniel, just go further down. We have gone through John's Shannon Simelane, thank you so much, Mguni, also for being a part of this conversation. Afia Wilcox says, thank you for this. The poem really expresses the need for a safe space for us to talk about this relevant topic. Go further down. Shannon Simelane says, true, UNFPA. Go further down, brother, further. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Go up. Tanya's comment says, Do you think the way we raise children in most African families in terms of the use of corporate punishment contributes to gender-based violence? This one is a topic for the ages, because we were talking about this just the other day on the Connect. We had Shelly, we had guys from Gwaka Invota, and we had a psychologist as well in the form of Ndo. The role that our helpers in the household play when it comes to raising our children. The constant beating, constant shouting, constant calling to order in a violent manner conditions us when we're growing up to think that that is the expression of love. And when we grow up as men, then sometimes we find ourselves duplicating that expression and forwarding it to somebody else. Also, as women, then women grow up to accept that because this is how I was raised anyway. So this is something that we need to question in as far as the way we raise our children. Is corporal punishment one of the contributors to the prevalence in gender-based violence? That is a question I'm putting to you. Maybe just throw your questions, your comments on the comment section below. Natalie says, the people who speak out about abuse are absolute heroes. I am with you, Natalie, 100%. Definitely in agreement. Daniel, if you don't mind, like just moving the camera a little bit. There's some parts of the comments that I cannot see right now because of the way the camera is situated. Perfect. Yes, the mask is to be used, but don't let the mask stop you from reporting gender-based violence. Majuba, that is brilliant. Though our mouths are closed in as far as protecting against COVID-19, but don't let that stop you from speaking up against GBV. Brilliant. Sharon Stella Musonza says, let's all take up activism for GBV at a national, community, and even individual level. Commit time and resources to make awareness of this enemy. We need to sensitize young people on the various forms of GBV and its effects. I think some are victims without even knowing. That is so very true. Before one can access help, they need to first understand that they are in a problem, which is gender-based violence, and it will empower them to take action against it. That is so beautiful. Thank you very much, Sharon Stella Musonza, for that very insightful comment. And this is the conversation that we encourage. Sometimes people are in a gender-based violence situation and they don't even know that they are because they think it's okay. Daniel, do we have any further comments down low? Ten Bell says, we are seeing a lot of people choosing to use social media to voice out their experiences instead of going to the police station or other authorities. What is your opinion on this? My opinion on this, Tanya, is that let us allow people to first speak up in a safe space, get the kind of support because in this case the support is in likes and comments and rallying, and once they have the encouragement from that platform, then I'm sure they'll be in a better position to now take it to family, police, and other authorities. But let us allow people to express themselves in the platforms that they feel comfortable expressing themselves in. Daniel Toro has requested that we play back the poem because apparently the comments were saying that the volume is low, so he has fixed that. So we will sign out with it at the very end of this. If you suspect or know that someone is being abused, please do not try to force them to leave their home when they don't feel ready. Listen empathetically and don't undermine, blame, or criticize the reasons they choose to stay with or return to an abusive person. Let them know that the abuse is not their fault and that you believe what they are saying. Be clear that you're trying to help, not to judge. Stay in communication, but please try and avoid making the abusive person suspicious because this will allow the communication to stay open. If someone you know needs urgent help for whatever reason, be prepared to call the emergency health services, the police, the health center, or a support hotline. And I'll ask the SYP team to please put some of those contacts in the comment section below. Lastly, encourage women and girls at risk to prepare a safety plan. Safety plans can be used when the violence escalates and the risk to their lives is greater. Safety plans can include information of who to call, how to leave the house, and what to take with you, and an alarm code where they can get support. This has been another information time, packed time together. We'll hold it here for now to give us a chance to reflect and to act. Thank you to the UNFPA Safeguard Young People Regional Support Team for putting all this together. Daniel Toro for the live stream. Our guest via Zoom, Vimbiso Rumbare. And thanks to all of you for sharing your thoughts with us. We'll be back again same time on the SYP's Facebook and YouTube pages, plus the Courtesy of Hip Hop YouTube page. Next week, we will be chopping up comprehensive sexuality education. From me, the Courtesy of Hip Hop, it's peace, love, and happiness. Stay safe, and remember, masculinity is supposed to protect the vulnerability of our community. One love. No matter the words she uses to describe the violation, no matter the drinks or the outfit or the degree to which she knew or didn't know her violator, no matter the time of day or night or the spaces in memory, no matter her age now or her age then, or how many years it took for her to speak, no matter how many times it's happened or what came before or after, believe her. No matter the questions that rise in your mind, planted by a culture that has taught you that it is her story that has to be met with disbelief, believe her. Hear her story. Blanket her shame with your love. Counter her fear with your faith. Hold the relentless questions running in loops in her mind between your palms tenderly. When she says it was my fault, tell her no. When she asks, was this okay, say, not now, not ever. When she wonders, did I bring this to myself, remind her that she has only ever called in goodness. When she tells you they didn't believe her before, believe her. When she cries, let her. When she reaches out in need of arms, hold her. When she needs to tell her story again and again and again, listen as many times as it takes. When it takes longer than you expected for her to heal, be infinitely patient. When that healing looks nothing like they told you it would, find every dictionary in your house, cross out the definition, allow her to write in her own words. Be sure to use pencil so she can change it as often as she needs to. When her body feels unsafe on the street or in the coffee shop or at the grocery store, walk closely beside her. Ask if she would like for you to hold her hand. Shield her energy with your own and don't let go. When she's afraid of the dark, keep the lights on. When you're not sure how to proceed, ask her. When she answers, pay close attention. When the rules change, accept them. When a woman tells you she was violated, believe her. And don't just only believe her. Say so. Don't just think it. Don't just feel it. Speak the words to her out loud right now, as many times as it takes, over and over and over again, in words, in writing, with your body, in the way you look at her, in public, on social media, at hospital, at the police station, in court, at the bar, on the street corner, in your outside voice where other people can hear, in as many different languages as you can memorize. Because too many women in this world have been violated, and too many are met with the violence of disbelief. So when a woman tells you she was violated, you stop what you're doing, look her in the eyes, and tell her, I believe you. somewhere, then I turn back. Yeah, I was watching. No, yeah.